Welcome to another conversation. HR Masters Wine and Wisdom. I'm Michele Synegal, and my colleague is Jody Friend. And we're going to be talking about honoring women today because it's Women's History Month. Take it away, Jody.
Yes. Hi, Michelle. So good to see you again and delighted to have this conversation. And I'm excited. I'm always excited when we're celebrating women. You know, you and I are both have been longtime women business owners, and we have colleagues that are in the same space. You know, they're doing their thing and making things happen. And then we also want to take some time to admire those women who are doing things globally, nationally. It's an exciting month. And quite frankly, in my opinion, we should be celebrating women all year round.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really glad we have something to celebrate in terms of the accomplishments of women because 2020 has been really hard on women. Would you agree with that?
I do. I agree. Women make up, and I don't have the statistics, but we are a huge part of the workforce, and I believe the women have been predominantly affected by this pandemic. It's unfortunate.
Absolutely. I was looking at the unemployment statistics, and 57% of all jobless people who have registered with Department of Labor, et cetera, are women. 57%
Yes.
of all, and millions, as you know, millions of people are currently unemployed. Now, another thing that I noticed is that the in this report that I was reading, they were saying that women have taken on additional responsibilities during COVID because they are the caregiver for their children, and children are at home, and they're also trying to work. And so the increased domestic responsibilities, in large part, have fallen on women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes it more difficult. And I know personally in my own family, my daughter decided to resign her job because of the demands of both work and trying to, do the online school with her children. And she's got a little one who's not in school, and there was a daycare situation. So it's really difficult. And that was a tough decision for her to have to make. And I know she's not the only one.
Oh no, definitely not. So it's about celebration today.
Yeah.
So why don't we start maybe at the local level, recognizing and honoring some women, and then we'll go out to a national level. So who should we be acknowledging?
Oh my goodness, Michelle, first and foremost, you, right? I
Oh,
want to acknowledge you. You have been a longtime colleague and business partner, and I have others who are just as phenomenal. I want to just, do a couple of shout outs to, longtime friend, business partner, colleague, Stephanie Lomax, HR Pro for You. We just happen to be in the same space. I also want to give a shout out to Lisa Morrow of the LDM Group. She's doing her thing in the government contracting space, and she's local. These are not, unless you know them here from the DMV, you probably won't hear about them, but they are phenomenal women, really, doing a great job. And then one other person I want to mention, her name is Sharon Gabinski, and she does outsource CFO work. And again, we have been partnering together on a number of client engagements. So it's really, I just want to, take a moment to shout them out.
Excellent. So I'll give a shout out to two of my colleagues. One is Karen Holmes, and Karen is a financial planner and has been in that space for some time. And then also, I'd like to acknowledge Judy Hasbrook. Judy Hasbrook has a company, Hasbrook and Associates, and what she does is interior design for commercial properties, so schools, office buildings, things of that nature. And that is an industry that, women aren't represented in significant numbers. So those are my shout outs, Karen Holmes and Judy Hasbrook.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So
Yeah,
what
so also, uh, women have been on the rise, and there are Fortune 500 companies with women at the helm. The number is 7.4%, but of course, if you look back 10 years ago, it's almost doubled. So we're definitely making progress. So, what are some of those female-headed companies that you are aware of?
So yeah, I believe GM has a female head, a CEO. There's also Walgreens, Rosalind Brewer. Those are, I mean, you have to admire them for, um, taking those companies, to the levels of, where they are. What about you, Michelle?
Well, Mary Barra is at General Motors, and I really know her because she's in a traditionally male-dominated industry. So I definitely want to recognize her. Gap clothing stores, headquartered in San Francisco, is headed by Sonia Senegal, very similar to Senegal, but not exactly the same. And then Pennington heads up Edward Jones, the financial advisory group. And then there is a Thashunda Brown Duckett, and she heads up TIAA, and that's the teachers' pension plan, and she is also female.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I don't think I knew that last one there, but that is awesome to hear. And then, of course, one of the things about celebrating Women's History Month are just also just the women in our everyday lives. They may not be running businesses, but they're taking care of families. They're working hard every day, and we really just want to let you know that we support you, we honor you, we know you're doing great things, holding it down with work and family and all the many other things that you may be doing in your community, ministry and volunteering. And I think women, we have this capability of being able to multitask like no other. And I think that we just we're nurturing and we're caring, and it's again, I can't say enough about the respect I have for other women.
Speaking of respect, I highly respect you, Jody. We have been partners in many endeavors over the last 7, 8 years or so, and I can say that I truly enjoy working with you because you are your word. And see that's so important to me. Some people will pay lip service to their commitments, but I can always count on you. I know you're going to be there, and I trust that I am always there for you
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely. The feeling is definitely mutual. And I remember the day we met.
I
We
do too. We were at a SHRM
a Sherm meeting. That's right. And
breakfast meeting.
as they say, the rest is history.
The rest is history. Speaking of history, why don't we take a look at women who are making history? I do have a slide presentation. Not everybody, of course, I had time to include, but I think that it's important that we recognize folks in many different genres. So here we go. Of course, our current Vice President, Kamala Harris. And then some historic Black women in politics, Fannie Lou Hamer, Karen Bakes, uh, Sojourner Truth, and then also Isabel Allende, our author. We cannot not acknowledge Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Joe Harho, who is actually the first Native American to receive that award. Then we have Mazie Hirono, who is a senator from Hawaii, and then Dolores Huerta, farm workers, and then, of course, Katherine Johnson, one of the hidden figures. Rita Moreno just keeps getting better. She now holds the EGOT. And Cicely Tyson, of course, just a phenomenal person who is now one of our ancestors, and of course, Malala. So I just wanted to make sure that we it did acknowledge folks in different spaces and places who are having an impact on the quality of lives, not only of women, but everybody. They just uplift everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
we still have, about 10 more days or so in Women's History Month. So we invite our audience to, take some time to recognize the women in your lives and make sure that you honor them and, give them a shout out, give them some respect. And we hope that the men will do the same. And we know that, you know, there are lots of men who honor women and really uphold them in high esteem. And so we thank them for that as well.
Absolutely. So before we sign off, I just want to let you all know, in honor of Women's History Month, I've posted an article to LinkedIn, and it's honoring the feminine qualities in leaders. And so it's talking about those qualities and traits that you mentioned about us being nurturing and caring, and how that's so essential not only for women leaders but also for men to tap into those feminine qualities as well if they want to just make a tremendous impact on either their bottom line or their mission. So thank you again for tuning in to another iteration of HR Masters Wine and Wisdom. We'll see you soon.